It's senior night in Huntsville, Texas, as the Sam Houston State Bearkats try to make it 9 wins in a row as they host the New Orleans Privateers. Welcome inside Johnson Coliseum. We look at the standings in the Southland Conference. It's a battle of the Piney Woods at the top. Stephen F. Austin, 12-0, winners of 22 in a row. Sam Houston State, winners of 8 consecutive matches, 1 game behind. The rivals meet Thursday night in Nacogdoches. And welcome courtside. My name is Matt Peterson. The Bearkats 2 5-set victories over the weekend. Head coach Brenda Gray says her team has true grit as they try to win the regular season in the Southland Conference. A win tonight would see them get 20 victories on the season. That would be the fastest in this program's history since 1993. Now our HEB No Player Does More players to watch, beginning with New Orleans senior middle blocker Caitlin Grice. She has been outstanding this season. Grice, known as KG, tries to master everything. Her head coach says she's never satisfied, and they've asked her to hit higher at times this season to give her more opportunities to swing. Meanwhile, for Sam Houston State, it is Madison Wallace. Since she moved to libero, she's 15-1. Her head coach said she's very versatile, a model student athlete. She'll play her final home game tonight for the Bearkats. From head coach Brenda Gray, as she is 4 wins away from 700, and her team off to its best start in nearly 25 years. A win tonight would see the Bearkats reach 20 wins, fastest time since 1993, and she'll be opposed by Millicent Van Norden, 5th year at the helm of the Privateers. Privateers trying to stay in the top 8 and reach the conference tournaments. The Bearkats are in white. New Orleans is in blue. Three seniors will be honored after the match tonight. Taylor Cunningham, Madison Wallace, and Jacqueline Ward. And Coach Gray raved about the three, said they're model student athletes, each with a 4.0 GPA, great leaders, and trying to end their senior season with a conference championship. Underway from Huntsville, it's Sarah Thomas getting things underway from the service line. And a point for the Bearkats, Brianne Chaussee, the freshman outside hitter, gives Sam Houston State an immediate side out. And now their best setter on senior night up to the line. Immediately, Millicent Van Norden has a word with the near side official. The crew talks it over. The up referee talks with the down referee. And a word for Nava, the captain of the Privateers. Aggressive serve Wallace. And a good read from the Cats. That was too long from Vega. Junior out of San Antonio. She's moved between left and right this season. A heavy arm, according to her head coach, Millicent Van Norden. 2-0 Cats. And a nice response. Ryan Rand. Redshirt sophomore out of Lindale, Texas, and Lindale High School. Miller, the first pass. Free ball from Cunningham. Bearkats with the block and a point. Lewis and Cunningham combining. Here's Lewis. Our coach said she has come on of late and we need her more consistent here later in the season. Angled swing. Vega, the junior. And New Orleans hanging in early on against the Bearkats, who have won 8 straight games after a surprising loss at UIW. Wallace off the block, but kept alive by the Privateers. Cunningham with the tip. And her first kill tonight. The best player on the Sam Houston State team. Senior night for her, a Southland Conference Player of the Year favorite. Goes up over the triple block. Now to the line to serve. Lewis. Effective dump from the senior Jacqueline Ward. Ward top 4 in the conference, assists per set. Her coach says she's better in the 5-1 system. It keeps her active, keeps her in rhythm. 5-2 Cats. And Grice with her first kill. Now Caitlin Grice, our featured player, the senior out of Valrico, Florida. An important side out, and now Vega to serve. Off the net. Heavy swing from Sheaf. There's Cunningham from the back row. Excellent up, but no help from her teammates. That was Andrea Nava, the libero. Incredibly athletic dig as she dove to her left. Here's Sheaf. Bearcats are trying to get New Orleans out of system. That's one of the goals from head coach Brenda Gray tonight. Back set for Gooch. Nice up once again from Nava. Ward long cross court set. Chaussee. Privateers fighting. Ward jump set. Here comes Cunningham. Nice roll shot just past the 10-foot line. She is so effective and efficient. Always finds the right spot. Career high 29 kills against ACU at the start of the month. Lewis keeps it alive. A touch from Chaussee. Best rally of this first set. Up from Lewis. Dump from Ward. And there's Grice to end it. Caitlin Grice, the senior, and Coach Van Norden told me before the match tonight that they're trying to set higher for her, to give her more opportunities to get to the spots and swing at a higher frequency and be involved in more offensive plays. Chaussee off the block. Long swing that time from Samantha Uline. Now to Ward the senior to set. Long first pass. Angled swing is too far past the sideline. Take another look from Grice. He tried to find that spot to the right of Ward, but too far. Bearcats in control in the first set. Back set, blocked by Lewis. And the Bearcats with their second block of this first set. Now, Sam Houston State, an effective road trip, and they have the momentum here at home on senior night, looking for their 9th straight win. They're up 10-4 in the first.
Hey, thanks again for having me over for dinner.
Of course. These HEB meal simple entrees make hosting dinner easy, and they're delicious.
I'll tell you, since you cooked, how about I clean?
You sure? They only took a couple minutes to make.
I insist.
All right, if you say so. Here you go.
I didn't mean the whole house.
Thank you.
H-E-B Meal Simple. Over 200 choices of chef-inspired entrees ready in minutes.
Well, Scott.
Yeah.
The lawnmower's in the garage.
Yeah, okay, I'll get on it.
The Bearkats trying to end October with a flourish. It's their 9th game in 25 days. They've won their first 8, starting with the win at Abilene Christian on October 6th. The calendar turns on Thursday in a big rivalry match against first place and undefeated Stephen F. Austin. At 10-4, Ward resumes play after the timeouts. Cunningham, good first pass. Ward back for Chaussee, off the block, and the Bearkats lead by 7. Sam Houston State, true grit with the 5-set victories on the road as we take another look at Chaussee's swing, right between the blockers. That was the words of head coach Brenda Gray. Resilience to win both those 5-set matches. An attacking error from Uline. And the Bearkats all of a sudden on a 5-0 scoring run. Bearkats getting New Orleans out of system. They'll attack here with Lewis. 6 in a row for the Bearkats. Lewis, her first kill tonight. Back set. Over from Grice. Gooch with a powerful swing. Privateers able to keep it alive, but it was on the wrong side of the antenna. I'll give credit to Gooch for her powerful swing. The middle blocker, perhaps big shoes to fill next season with the departure of senior Taylor Cunningham, who's done everything in her 4 seasons in Huntsville. 7 straight points for the Cats. They lead by 10. Grice, angled swing, nearly up from Wallace, but Grice with her 3rd kill tonight. If we take another look, that's one of those sets that I think Millicent Van Norden has asked her team to do with Grice. Higher sets give her more opportunity to get there. That time she jumped a little early, but her length allowed her to stay alive. Chaussee off the block. Grice with the dig. Free ball from the Privateers. Here comes Gooch. Powerful swing, finds the back corner. Amanda Gooch, her first kill tonight. She looked good on the prior point, which eventually led to a point for the Bearkats. Growing in confidence this season. She was less efficient earlier this year, but her first 2 swings tonight have been on point. Bearkats up 10. Nice swing from the back row from Schumacher. Here comes Cunningham. It tipped the block, but nobody in the back row to contest Cunningham's 4th kill. She can hang in the air so long, and that's what Millicent Van Norden told me before the match makes her so difficult to defend. She can hang up there and wait for the defense to commit and then put it where she wants. Nice down line swing. Jordan Schumacher, the sophomore. Bearkats had coverage there, but just too much power. Thomas from the line. Lewis, right down the line, right to the server, Thomas. Lewis, her 2nd kill. The Bearkats are hitting over 500 in this first set. 10 kills on 19 total attacks. They've yet to make an attacking error. Blocked by Cunningham. Free ball from the Privateers. Ward for Cunningham. They play quickly, and it's blocked by the Privateers. Rand and Vega combining. And the first block for New Orleans in this first set. Good serve from Schumacher. Miller. Sheaf. Good hustle from the Privateers to keep it up, and a smash down the line from Vega. It was Blessing done with the dig. That's one key for Coach Van Norden. She wants more digs from Nava than Dunn. She says when that's the case, we are playing well. There is Sheaf off the block. The sophomore from Willis, just down the road from Huntsville, with her first kill. And Coach Gray said Sheaf played very well in the 4-set victory at New Orleans back on October 13th. Too long on the serve from Lewis. First service error from either team tonight. 18-9 as Ryan Rand steps up to the line. Wallace, Ward, Lewis from the back row. And credit the Privateers hustling to keep that alive. Sheaf off the block. Good defense from New Orleans. Lewis roll shot. Grice right back over the net. Both teams scrambling here. Dunn off the antenna, a point for the Bearcats. You see Dunn rising, but could not get past the double block between the two seniors, Ward and Cunningham. A 7th attacking error in the early going for New Orleans. Deep jump serve from Cunningham. Cunningham with the dig. And New Orleans was ready for that. Ward likes that dump play with the one hand. And it was Grice and Dunn both there to deny. Good timing from Grice on her leap. Dunn with the block. And another block from New Orleans, 2 points in a row. Right at the left antenna. Omogibo with her first block tonight. At color Z, native of South Holland, Illinois. There's Z rising, one hand dig, nice off hands from Cunningham. Sheaf denied again. The New Orleans defense coming to life late in this first set. Bit of a soft shot off the hand of Sheaf. That's 4 blocks now from New Orleans, 3 of them coming in the last few points. And there is the first ace for the Privateers. And a timeout for the Bearcats. Senior night in Huntsville, and New Orleans hanging around as we look back at this ace. Amanda Worster, the second setter, a freshman from Dawson High School down the road in Pearland, Texas, just south of Houston. As we see the Privateers, 11-16 on the year, 5-7 in the Southland Conference. Under head coach Millicent Van Norden. Very honest with me in our pre-match conversation. She says we need to be more patient with our offense. Oftentimes we try to win the point with that first contact, and we need to stay in our system. We need to sustain quality serving for longer runs, and they have a point of emphasis for their team. They want to be better past the 16-point mark in sets, and that's been the case here in set 1. Once the Bearcats got to 19. It's a 4-0 scoring run for the Privateers to pull within 6. She says in the past, earlier in the season, when the other teams got to 16, they've been more reserved, less decisive. She wants her teams to be more aggressive here in the later points of each set. A good serve once again, but the Bearcats find a way over the net. Dunn. Wallace. Here comes Lewis from the back row. Excellent up for the Privateers. That was Schumacher. Wallace hustling. Sheaf off the block. And another point for the Privateers. 5 in a row. Caitlin Grice, her 4th kill. They play quickly. The block from the Bearcats was a little bit late as Ward had to slide over. Ward and Lewis check out for the Bearcats. First action of the night as Jordan Kiley checks in along with Madeline Miles. Another good serve. Kiley with an angled swing. Dunn rising for the angled kill right at the 10-foot line. 6 straight for the Privateers. They're within 4. Wonderful set. Angled shot beyond the libero Wallace. Worcester has been very good serving here in this first set, giving the Bearcats all sorts of problems. Another block. Again, it's Caitlin Grice. 5 blocks in this first set for New Orleans. Right to the forearms of the 6'2" Grice. Her wingspan is 6'4". Another aggressive serve. Better pass that time, Cunningham. Off the block, and the Bearcats finally get a side out after 7 straight points for the Privateers. Chaussee checks back in. Wallace goes to the bench. 2016 jump serve from Sheaf. Dunn with the tip. Angled swing. Well dug by the libero. Off the block, another point for the Privateers. Nava's having a good first set. 5 digs, many of them of high difficulty. Blessing Dunn, senior out of Jacksonville, Alabama, with the soft jump serve into the net. First service ace tonight from New Orleans. Now it's Ward and Lewis to check in. Miles and Kiley both depart. Bearcats 4 points away from a victory here in the first set. Deep from Ward and a good read from Nava. There's the senior, Caitlin Grice. Another aggressive serve from New Orleans. How about that set off one hand from Ward? Big swing off the block. Bearcats scrambling. Lewis blocked again. And the Bearcats running out of energy here at the end of this first set. That was one concern for head coach Brenda Grain. Her 35th season was the energy level of her team. 9th game in 25 days tonight. They've won the first state, trying to make it a perfect month of October with the win tonight. Another ace from New Orleans. They're within a point. Bearcats at one point had a 10-point lead here in this first set. Up from Lewis. Back set Ward near the net, and a nice tip from Chaussee. There wasn't much she could do with that. Close to the net in the antenna, and she found a good spot. Excellent soft hands from Chaussee inside the 10-foot line. Her 3rd kill here in the first. Now Miller. Good serve and an ace! Dunn tried her best, but she could not keep it up, and a timeout for Millicent Van Norden and the Privateers. A back and forth first set. The Bearcats had a big lead. It was down to 1, but they've won the last couple points. And now they're 2 points away from winning the first set. Now, Coach Brenda Gray of the Bearcats very pleased with her team's grit on the road. 5-set victories at Texas A&M Corpus Christi and at HBU. It's been a less consistent season from the Privateers under head coach Millicent Van Norden. In some ways a young team. They've tried to experiment with 1 setter and 2 at various times. They brought in more defensive players this year to try to shore up the defense, and that's been a work in progress. She says we have to find ways to score more quickly tonight to beat the Bearcats. The Bearcats are a much better defensive team. They don't mind letting the point extend, and they know if they keep doing their work defensively, the other team will likely make a mistake before they do. Very competitive here in the first as Miller steps up to the line with the Bearcats up 3. Heavy swing, but up from Lewis. And an illegal dump that time, a double. She tried to catch the Bearcats off guard, but Worcester, the freshman, looked a little indecisive as she tried the dump from about 5 feet off the net. Set point for the Cats. Too long on the angle swing from Z. It was close, but the Bearcats with a 5-point victory in set 1. Sam Houston State looking for a 9-0 October on senior night. Matt Peterson back with you. Huntsville, Texas, a very defensive first set for both these teams. We'll see how they regroup and begin the second set. Senior night for the Cats, and they won the first set 25-20. Taylor Cunningham, a senior, led Sam Houston with 4 kills. Fellow senior Caitlin Grice, 5 kills, led New Orleans. Underway in the second set, and a double on that set over the net. A mistake from Vega. Sam Houston State ended up hitting 184 in that first set. More than halfway through the set, they were hitting over 500, so they really slowed down as New Orleans made the late run. Nice angled swing, Brianna Vega, junior out of San Antonio. Had to hang in the air a long time, but just off the top of the hands of the blockers Chassé and Cunningham. New Orleans hit exactly 0 in the first set, as there's a service error. 10 kills, 10 errors, 37 total attacks. They were hitting below 0 for much of that first set. They came on late. Wallace, the senior, with the serve. And another double setting error from New Orleans. Wallace back to serve. Heck of a week for Wallace as the Bearcats had 5-set victories on the road. 37 digs against HBU on Saturday, 38 digs against Texas A&M Corpus Christi last Thursday. There's a dig from Ward. Joust won by Cunningham. And from the 10-foot line, it's into the net from Rand. Both those dig totals, 37 and 38 respectively, in the top 7 all-time for Sam Houston State. Now Wallace services into the net. Gray will take that. She doesn't mind a 1-to-1 service A, service air ratio. And she says Wallace is her best server. Just a good athlete growing up, played all sorts of sports, softball, soccer. Very good reader of the game. Now a free ball from New Orleans. Ward for Lewis. Lewis, nice roll shot just inside the 10-foot line. Well, Lewis coming off her best game in her career. 14 kills, a career high, off 51 total attacks Saturday at HBU and the 5-set win. A growing role on this team. The sophomore out of Houston's Langham Creek High School. New Orleans saying that Cunningham hit it twice in a row. Now, Millicent Van Norden saying that was twice in a row. Maybe the senior getting a call here in her final home game at Johnson Coliseum. Van Norden arguing with the down official. Service error from Lewis. Here's the freshman setter, Worcester. Miller, Ward, tight set, another block from New Orleans. Roll shot, Wallace. Another double. Worcester's having a tough time tonight. She's not the primary setter. That's Sarah Thomas, but sometimes she needs to be in there due to the rotations. Here's the senior, Cunningham. Southland Conference Player of the Week 6 times this season for Cunningham. Dump from Gooch. Z with the swing off the top of the net. Might have been blocked by the Cats. Well read by Lewis on the angled swing from the right side. Done off the block, up from Wallace. They play quickly that time, and capitalizing is Grice. That's good work from New Orleans. They're trying to set Grice higher to let her get to more balls, but that time they sped it up a bit and the Bearcats weren't quite ready. 7-4 Cats with Dunn serving. Errant first pass from Cunningham. And the Privateers will try to make a bit of a run here early in the second set. Dunn looks at her head coach, Van Norden, for the sign. Ward out to Sheaf through the block and kept up by Worcester. Lewis from the back row. Blocked again by Grice. The New Orleans defense, its best weapon tonight. Solo block from the senior. That's 5 blocks to go with their 7 kills. And New Orleans with 7 blocks as a team, Bearcats only 2. Over from Cunningham. They play quickly again. That time Gooch was there for the block. And another passing error from New Orleans. That's really letting them down tonight. Big block from Gooch. She's done well in limited action tonight. There's Sheaf. Wonderfully done. Jordan Schumacher hung in the air, picked out a good spot. She read Sheaf, who was sliding to her left. That's 3 kills for Schumacher. Another passing error from New Orleans. There's some matchup issues for New Orleans tonight. Because the Bearcats are so good defensively, they need to use some personnel in some situations that aren't ideal. There's Ward, unable to keep it up. So I think Van Norton, as she told me before the match, there's going to be some times tonight where some unique formations and personnel groupings. There's Thomas from Friendswood, Texas, just south of Houston. Jose, excellent dig from Thomas. Off the block, dumped by Gooch. Another block from the Cats, but it's out. And New Orleans hanging around here in the second. It's 9-9. Both teams hitting under 150 tonight. Gooch wanted it. Instead, it goes outside to Chaussee. And another good tip from the freshman. That's 2 tonight for her, over the block, just a few feet over the line. Chaussee tied for the team lead now with 4 kills this evening on 11 total attacks. Lewis punches it over. Too much angle that time from Vega. She tried to go cross court but couldn't get it over the net. New Orleans out digging the Bearcats 29-19. That's surprising. And also 7 blocks to 2 for Sam Houston State. It's the hitting of Sam Houston that's given them the lead here in the early going. Cunningham with the hammer. And a timeout for New Orleans. So the Bearcats with a 3-point lead. They lead 1-0 looking for a commanding 2-0 lead on senior night in Huntsville. Welcome back, Johnson Coliseum. Matt Peterson with you. Second set, Bearcats leading 12-9. And the Bearcats went to New Orleans, part of a two-city road trip in Louisiana. And a couple of their underclassmen had breakout games. Chaussee, 16 kills at New Orleans a couple weeks ago. Caroline Sheaf, 15 kills, also a career high. Here's Chaussee. Cunningham, Ward, Lewis, right through the double block. And that was when the Bearcats started to get more production from players beyond Cunningham. The first half of the year, it was all Cunningham, the senior, doing everything. But starting with that night, Sheaf and Chaussee started helping out. And now Ashley Lewis, a sophomore, has begun to contribute more and more. Her career high 14 kills on Saturday. So now the Bearcats much more dynamic offensively, not just Cunningham, also Sheaf, Chaussee, Lewis, and others contributing at the net. An ace from Miller. And that's 6 straight for Sam Houston State. Second ace for the Cats. They play quickly, and the hammer is dropped by Rand. Her third kill. And that's what Van Norden wants. She says, we'll be at our best tonight if we are playing quickly, particularly on serve receive. Maybe the best offensive point of the night so far for the Privateers. Chaussee, the southpaw, too far. She tried to find the right sideline. So he's taking another look. Came off the outside of her hand. 2 feet out, and a service error from Schumacher. If New Orleans could hit a little better and pass a little better, they'd be really threatening the Cats, but New Orleans hitting .033 as a team tonight. Well done. More swings like that will help Brianna Vega, the junior. Unstoppable from a few feet off the net. Here's Ryan Rand. Out of Lindale High School in Lindale, Texas, another service error. It's been the unforced errors that have cost New Orleans tonight. Passing, serving, and hitting. Jump serve Lewis. Done. Great leaping ability. Hung in the air a long time in an angled kill. Her second tonight. Her coach says she plays all 6 rotations. 1,000 career kills and digs. Says she plays very fast on defense, but sometimes that hurts her on offense. She plays too quick at the net. Not a problem that time. She was in sequence and a net violation against the Privateers. A side out for the Cats. Gooch checks in, replacing Addison Miller. Now here is Cunningham. What a career she's had in Huntsville. Her hometown, out of Huntsville High School. Excellent up from Lewis. Wallace kept it alive, and a dump on that far side from Sheaf. Now, Coach Gray just raved about her 3 seniors before the game tonight. Jacqueline Ward, the setter. Taylor Cunningham, the middle blocker, and 6 rotation player. Tim Wallace said they're all 4.0 GPA. All excellent leaders, all selfless. Up from Wallace, and she'll send it over. Both teams hustling here in the second set. A tip from Dunn. Here comes Gooch. And she continues to be more and more efficient this season. At times earlier in this year, she would really bring the velocity. Good swing, but not test the defense. Now she's finding the opposite side of the court more often. Her second kill tonight. Bearcats up 7. Off the top of the net, it found a way there for Z. Z Omohibo, transfer from Coastal Georgia. Good angle on that swing, away from the block. Here's Sheaf, well up from Nava. Dunn, a roll shot from the back row. Here comes Gooch with a tip. New Orleans has it covered. Lewis, up from Nava. Up from Lewis, Cunningham hustling. That will reach the cheerleaders, but the Bearcats, no lack of energy here in the second set. They can see the finish line and want to head into the intermission with a 2-set victory. Third kill for Schumacher there. Gooch blocked. 8 blocks tonight for New Orleans. That was Grice once again. Grice might get a double-double. Her 6th block to go with 7 kills, but a service error from Dunn. 5 service errors tonight for New Orleans. Here's Sheaf. Nice swing, athletic that time from Grice. The ball hung in the air above the net. She changed her angle away from the block. Grice, a game high, 8 kills. Chaussee right through the block. Her 5th kill. Chaussee set that career high at New Orleans a couple weeks ago. She likes playing against the Privateers. Here's Ward, one of those exemplary seniors that Gray was talking about. How about that leaping ability from Z? But too long on her angled swing. Omohibo, great arm action. Swings it hard from that right antenna. They go back to Z, blocked by Lewis. And the Bearcats just too resilient. Their goal is to get New Orleans out of system. That was what Coach Gray told me before the match, and they've done that quite a bit tonight. New Orleans hitting 0-68 on the evening. Angled swing, nice change from Rand. She saw the double block, calmly found a spot in the Bearcat defense. Her 4th kill. Set point for the Cats. Thomas trying to lead a comeback here in the second set for the Privateers. Heavy swing, Chaussee too far, inside the line. Their coach called Sarah Thomas calculated, the most strategic on the team, really understands the system as their primary setter. Cunningham into the nets. We just mistimed it. And that was something Van Norden talked about when I asked what makes Cunningham so effective. Says she can hang in the air so long and really make it difficult on the defense, not tipping where she's going to go. A little tougher to do that from the back row. Here's Lewis. Off the block. Up from Chaussee. Deep dump. Kept alive by Dunn. Cunningham could keep it alive, but nobody near her. And New Orleans for the 2nd straight set, not going down without a fight. First set ended 25-20. Within 3, facing set point for the Cats. Out to Lewis. Up from Schumacher. And Schumacher has the Privateers within 2. Timeout, Bearcats. Van Noorden's team not going down quietly. Facing big deficits in both of the first 2 sets. They've given the number 2 team in the Southland Conference all they can handle. Bearcats, under head coach Brenda Gray, she's 4 wins away from 700. As we take a look at this last point, nice swing from Schumacher, right into the defense. Brenda Gray, if she can lead the Bearcats to wins in each of their final 4 games, including tonight, she would reach 700 in the season finale at Abilene Christian. But it's a very difficult road stretch coming up. After tonight, Bearcats go to Nacogdoches on Thursday in a meeting between the top 2 teams in the conference. Stephen F. Austin, 12-0 in the Southland. They've won 22 straight matches going back to the non-conference portion of the season. Then to Central Arkansas, and then finally at Abilene Christian. Central Arkansas 1 game behind the Bearcats at 10-2. Abilene Christian at 9-3. So the 3 road games upcoming for the Cats. The 3 other top 4 teams in the Southland Conference. If the Bearcats are going to win the regular season title, they're certainly going to earn it in the month of November. Chassé, excellent dig from Dunn. Ward for Chassé, a tip is short. Dump from Ward. Dunn has it covered. And it's too long. New Orleans asked for a tip, it did not come, and the Bearcats survive in the second set. They go into the intermission, up 2-0. They're 1 set away from a 9-0 month of October, and a 12-1 start to the conference schedule.
Whether we're ready for it or not, life happens. Sometimes it knocks us down. Sometimes it takes the legs right out from under us. And sometimes it tosses us a curveball. So for whatever life throws at you, you need to have a plan. When a major illness or injury happens, it's important to trust the region's proven leader in emergency care. CHI St. Luke's Health. Make your emergency plan today at planforit.org.
Success does not come easy. Winning championships takes hard work on the field of play and in the classroom by our student athletes.
Thank you for blessing me with this opportunity and your support so that our future Bearcats can continue our winning trend.
Play your part in building champions and become a Bearcat champion today.
I've been an HEB truck driver for over 40 years and driven more than 3 million miles. I've seen a lot of wide open spaces and beautiful Texas places. It's the best job ever. All 700 of our friendly truck drivers are committed to getting fresh products to the store every single day. In fact, HEB drivers make more than 12,000 deliveries every week because Texas families need us, so we always deliver. This is the Delivered Fresh department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
Hey, thanks again for having me over for dinner.
Of course. These HEB meal simple entrees make hosting dinner easy, and they're delicious.
I'll tell you, since you cooked, how about I clean?
You sure? They only took a couple minutes to make.
I insist.
All right, if you say so. Here you go.
I didn't mean the whole house.
Thank you.
H-E-B Meal Simple. Over 200 choices of chef-inspired entrees ready in minutes.
Well, Scott,
Yeah.
the lawnmower is in the garage.
Yeah, okay. I'll get on it.
Welcome back, Johnson Coliseum at Huntsville. The Bearcats at intermission, they lead 2-0. 2 close victories, 25-20 in the first, 25-22 in the second. Here are some highlights of the first 2 sets. Both teams back and forth, very defensive for both teams. Sam Houston State hitting just 135, but New Orleans at 086 on the night. A combined 29 attacking errors. New Orleans has more digs than Sam Houston State and more blocks. I think that's a surprise and probably frustrating for head coach Millicent Van Noorden in their 5th season. They've done very well defensively, but offensively just too many passing errors, a lot of doubles on some of the sets, and just too mistake prone on the road against a team that has won 8 in a row and is seeking its 9th win in 25 days and a 12-1 start to the conference schedule. Now, a back and forth affair. The numbers are very even in many ways. More kills from New Orleans, 25-21. More service errors for the Privateers, 5-4, virtually even. 2 service aces apiece. But the Bearcats a better side-out percentage, a better point scoring percentage. If you look at the upcoming schedule for the Cats, it's a gauntlet at Stephen F. Austin on Thursday. That could decide the regular season champion. Then at Central Arkansas, at Abilene Christian. All 3 of those teams in the top 4 in the Southland Conference standings. Then the Southland Conference Volleyball Championship, November 16th to the 18th. That's in Natchitoches, Louisiana. A 5-minute intermission. Now we are set to go in set 3. New Orleans trying to force a 4th set. Bearcats looking for a sweep on senior night. Lewis. Good swing down the line from Schumacher. She's had a good night. 5 kills now and 11 total attacks. Hitting 364 to go with 9 digs. Miller, Ward, here's Cunningham. Found a spot in the back of the defense. That's her 7th kill. There's Brenda Gray, as we said, 4 wins away from 700. There's 32 Division I coaches who have reached 700. Blocked from the Cats. That was Cunningham. Turning away, Rand. Third block for the Cats. Wallace, the best server for Brenda Gray. Nice angled swing. That's Schumacher. She's come to life in the last couple sets. Schumacher, 4 kills last set. Here's Cunningham right up the middle. Up from Ward. Nice work from Sheaf to keep it alive. Extended rally here at the start of the 3rd set. Lewis. Ward wants it. Back set, Sheaf off the block and up from Nava. Nice swing from the back row, Schumacher. Cunningham rejected by Rand. That's hard to do. One-on-one against the likely Southland Conference Player of the Year, and all smiles for Rand. 9 blocks for the Privateers. They've certainly brought it defensively tonight. Here's Sheaf trying to answer. Bearcats asked for a touch, it never happened. New Orleans has done a pretty good job against Cunningham. 7 kills, 15 total attacks. She's hitting .267. Not a vintage performance from her, but she's got the help from the supporting cast. And there she goes around the block, right in the face of Vega. Now at times this year, she was going 20 kills each and every night, but with the emergence of Ashley Lewis and Brianne Chaussee, Caroline Sheaf, primarily those 3, they've really helped carry the scoring load. And also the Bearcats making quick work of many of their opponents. Some 3- and 4-set victories, less opportunity for the high kill totals you can see in a 5-set match. Off the foot of the referee, he was standing off the court, so an easier call. And the Bearcats even it up 4-4 here in the third. Schumacher from the back row. Excellent up from Lewis. Miller passed her coach into the scorer's table. What a dump that was from the senior Ward. Saw the block and at the last moment just dumped it inside the 10-foot line. Ward a game-high 20 assists tonight. That was her second kill. 5-5 in the third. Dunn. Nice touch. She rolled that shot over the double block, and all smiles for the senior. Watch this from Dunn. Just perfect spot inside that Bearcat defense. One of the best in the Southland Conference, but she found an opening. Here's Worcester. She had a very good service run in the first set. Very aggressive serving. See another one there. Jump set, here comes Sheaf. Dunn off the block. Ward back for Lewis. And Grice playing quickly, that's how she wants it. And she beats Cunningham in the back corner. She's at her best when they play quickly. They've slowed her down a little bit as they want to simply give her more opportunities to get to the ball from different spots on the court. But that time in her wheelhouse, the senior middle blocker with her 9th kill. Too long on the serve. Bearcats back within a point. Sheaf goes to the bench. Amy Martin checks in. Coach Gray told me earlier this season she is one for the future, has had some big points this year, has a dynamite serve. Back set for Grice. What a tip that was. All Lewis could do was punch it off her teammate Chaussee. You can see the experience there on the slide. Perfect touch for Grice. A game-high 10 kills. She's hitting .500 this evening. How about that from the left-handed Brianne Chaussee? She's very quick to the ball, Chaussee. Doesn't mess with it too often. Her 6th kill. Second highest for the Bearcats tonight. off the block and out for a New Orleans point. That was from Jordan Schumacher. Nine, 7 New Orleans. Cunningham. Wallace sends it over. Back set. Z went down the line but couldn't find the court. Tough night for Z. 4th error in 12 total attacks. Bearcats back within a point. Solo block Chaussee, a joust at the net. Miller went over the net, but didn't touch. It looked like a net violation against New Orleans. We're tied at 9. Nice serve from Miller. And Z with the kill. Good patience that time. Hung in the air a long time. Let the block drop just enough and found the spot past the 10-foot line. Her second kill this evening. Good patience. Not want to hit it with the block at its full height. Here comes Cunningham. She's rejected. Vega and Rand. That's 10 blocks for New Orleans. But then New Orleans gives it right back on the service error. It's been that kind of night for New Orleans. A huge momentum swinging block and then a service error, and it's right back to the Bearcats. 6 service errors for New Orleans. Make that 7 to go with 2 aces. A very close serve from Wallace. That was just past the back line. Here's Schumacher. New Orleans up 2 in the 3rd. Sheaf, too long. Both teams hitting under 125 tonight. Into the net from Schumacher, and that time Van Orton turned right towards her bench. Here's Lewis. Miller. Sheaf with the tip. Her 4th kill tonight. Jump serve Lewis. First pass Neva. Blocked by the Cats. Another swing from Vega. Good cover on the backside from Schumacher. Cunningham. Dunn. Excellent up from Lewis. Touch from Sheaf, covered by Dunn. Up from Miller, kept alive by Lewis and sent over by Wallace. Just inside the line. A big swing from Vega, but you couldn't find the court. To take another look how close this one was. A good read that time by Miller. She saw it over her left shoulder, had a good feeling it would be out. Neva receives. Dunn rising high, up again from Lewis. Sheaf with a roll shot. Nice change in midair from Vega. Bearkats hustling, but a free pass into the net for Madison Miller. Neva with a game-high 13 digs, including a big one on that point. Seesaw affair in the third. New Orleans back up a point and an ace. Ryan Rand, top spin serve, and it died about 15 feet over the net. I think college volleyball is seeing an increase in aggressive serving, and Coach Gray told me that's really been a byproduct of the system switching to rally scoring a few years ago. Good up from Lewis. And a passing error at the nets from Thomas. With rally scoring, it's led to more aggressive serving across the sport. Miller checks out. Amanda Gooch returns for the Cats. Bearkats within a point. New Orleans have led for the majority of this third set. Jump serve from the senior. They play quickly, and another kill for Grice. She loves when they go quickly with her in that middle blocking position. Grice has been the star tonight. – 11 kills, 20 total attacks. She's hitting .500. Worcester, probably the best server tonight for New Orleans. Another dig from Neva. Good swing again from Gooch. And another passing error from Worcester. She's had a tough time. The referees calling that double throughout the night. Sometimes it comes down to the officials and how technical they want to call it. It's been very harsh against New Orleans. Again, they're hitting about as well as Sam Houston State is tonight. More digs, more blocks. But the passing errors and just the overall passing has cost New Orleans dearly this evening. Amy Martin checks in, maybe the second best server on the team. Back set. Left-handed swing up from Martin. And a joust won by Grice. It was Hunter with that left-handed swing from the right side. And perfect timing from Grice. The middle blocker against the setter. Up from Gooch. Out to Chaussee, blocked again. Kyra Hunter and Caitlin Grice. Grice, her 8th block tonight. New Orleans has 12 as a team. Stretching their lead in the third. It's 18-15 Privateers. There's Blessing Dunn. Gooch. Kylie Miller. Too long. That's a big point for the Bearkats. An opportunity for New Orleans to stretch it to 4. But a heavy swing from Kyra Hunter. Jordan Kiley checks out. Ward returns. Madeline Miles also checks out. She had come in with Kiley a few points ago. Heavy first pass. Joust won by Ashley Lewis. Some emotion from the sophomore. First to respond at the net. She's up to 6 kills. Bearkats within a point. Athletic jump serve from Worst. And another block from the Privateers. They're up to 13 as a team. Grice denying Chaussee. 19-17 in the third. Lewis just beyond the baseline. Timeout, Bearcats. New Orleans hanging tough in Huntsville. Privateers trying to force a fourth set. Welcome back. A very competitive match in Huntsville. Bearcats up 2-0, but New Orleans has been within 5 points in each of the first 2 sets. Now they lead by 3. An opportunity to extend it to 4 here, but a huge block by Lewis with help from Gooch. Lewis trying to lift the Cats here in the third. One of the emotional leaders on this team, Ashley Lewis, a sophomore, but brings the energy on the court. Here's Addison Miller. Ward for Cunningham. Nice spot that time from Kyra Hunter. She's had a quiet night. That's her first kill in her 5th attack. Just beyond the reach of Ward. Sarah Thomas at the line for UNO. Joust at the net, won by the Privateers. Bearcats struggling in serve receive here in the 3rd set. Ward, Lewis off the block. Roll shot, Cunningham hung in there a long time, then Lewis with another kill. She's been very aggressive at the net here in the 3rd. Now Wallace to serve. Lewis up to 7 kills. Bearcats could use a patented serving run from Wallace. Ava. And too heavy from Rand. And as a classic example, New Orleans with an opportunity to stop a Sam Houston run, a decent first pass, and just a errant swing. Bearcats within 2. Back set off the block, but a net infraction. Too much momentum coming from Schumacher as she continued into the net after her big swing. Bearcats within a point here in the 3rd. A 3-0 scoring run for Brenda Gray's team. Good chat before the match with Millicent Van Norden, 5th-year head coach. Got her 5 and 7 Privateers. She says we have to be patient at times and aggressive at others. And she said late in these rallies, or late in these sets I should say, especially when one of the teams has 16 points or more, we need to be patient. I think some of the swings we've seen from New Orleans the last few points illustrate that lack of patience, including that last swing from Rand where she could have just kept it alive, kept the point going, and waited for a Sam Houston mistake. New Orleans trying to stay in the top 8, which qualify for the conference tournament mid-November in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Typical format, 8 plays 1, 7 plays 2, 6 will play 3, and so on. Bearkats trying to win the regular season title. They got to take care of business tonight, heading into the showdown with SFA in 2 days. Out of the timeout, Wallace at the line. Schumacher off the block. Cross-court set, Lewis up from Nava. Schumacher again. Wallace with the dig. Here comes Cunningham. Excellent dig, Nava. Big block from the Cats. Schumacher once again with the swing. Here's Cunningham. Nava, another dig. But miscommunication from New Orleans, and the Bearkats tie it up at 22. It was Vega and Thomas, neither deferred after that sensational dig from Nava. Both going for the second pass. Nava, another athletic play. And a swing from the 10-foot line is short from Vega. Bearkats were down by 4 late in this third set, but they, on a bit of a run, are now up 23-22. They've scored the last 5 points. Just long from Wallace. A good read from the senior, Blessing Dunn. You could hear her shot out from that back corner. 23-23 here in the third. Sam Houston State looking for its 9th win in 25 days. They would have a perfect month of October. Good cover from Dunn. Tough angled swing, just a bit long. Match point coming from the Bearkats. That was a tough angle for Vega. She tried to go over the block, but just past the far sideline. Ashley Lewis to win it for the Cats. Big swing off the block. Up, here's Cunningham on senior night, and she ends it. Hometown native Taylor Cunningham in her final home game ensures a sweep for the Bearkats. Her 10th kill of the night, and the Bearkats reach 20 wins on the season. The fastest Sam Houston State team to reach 20 wins since 1993. They're 20-5 on the year. That team 25 years ago did it in just 24 matches. Here is the upcoming schedule for the Bearkats. At SFA in 2 days, Bearkats could take over first place with a win, and then a very difficult road trip continues at Central Arkansas and at Abilene Christian. Now the Bearkats will stay here for senior night. 3 seniors honored: Cunningham, Jacqueline Ward, and Madison Wallace, the 3 central figures on this team. Cunningham, the middle blocker who plays all 6 rotations. Ward, the setter. Wallace, the libero. The Bearkats now 16-1 since Wallace turned to libero. New Orleans' upcoming schedule: they go at Nichols, and then they close it out with 2 difficult home games against Central Arkansas and Stephen F. Austin. Neither team hit over 100 as a defensive battle, but the Bearkats did it on the defensive side of the court. 11 digs from Lewis. Wallace, 18 digs in her very last home game. Caitlin Grice, the senior, a double-double for New Orleans. Very nearly 11 kills, 9 blocks. My name is Matt Peterson saying so long from Huntsville. The final score: the Bearkats win in straight sets. 25-20, 25-22, and 25-23. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.